welcome to the Rocky and Derrick Show. If you like our interviews, please visit our website, rockyandderrickshow.com, and visit our photo and video gallery. Today we're at the Forge with Henry.
Welcome to the Forge, guys. This is our local makerspace here in Greensboro. And I guess today I'll be giving you a tour. Here is our soft space. We call it that because it is not where all the hard tools are in the metal shop and wood shop. So right at the first, we have our lounge area along with some storage. And, you know, we obviously store stuff there and hang out here. That coffee table is made by a fellow member, so that's cool. Behind us here, or right in front of us now actually, is our conference room, which is also another workspace that we utilize. And then to our right here, we have the big makers table, which right now we're having a mend it night, which we all makers get together and some textile people get together and mend the little clothing that they need patches put on and whatnot. So it's another little event we have here at the makerspace. But this is the big table where everything happens. I put a lot of hours in on that table myself, so let's head off to the next section. Now we're here in our tech lab, where we have 3D printers, laser engravers, and our electronics bench, where we do soldering and other electronic-y things. Messing with Arduinos, if you will. All right. To our left here is a 3D printer. It's a very large one that they're actually made here in Greensboro. Fusion 3 Design is a company that's, I guess it's out on 421, but that's beside the fact. It is a large-scale 14 by 14 by 12.5 printer. It's FDM, which means it uses filament to layer and layer and layer and build up a model as it comes out. So I have put a lot of hours on these machines. It's been a lot of fun.
What does this cost?
About $4,500. Yeah.
Can we have one of these?
What are those yellow things?
Those are little unicorns for one of a member is printing those out for his tabletop game that he plays with his buddies, and he's selling them.
Unicorns. How interesting.
Yeah.
I don't like any.
They're actually from the Despicable Me movie.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so fluffy.
It's so fluffy unicorn
Very
thingy.
one. So he found a model of it and printed it out for him and his buddies to basically the figures on the table get to be thrown at. It's a table game. Anyway, tabletop games are a lot of fun. So anyway, we do have another printer. It's out of commission. This is the older version that Fusion 3 has made. Is a 12 by 12 by 12 build area instead of 14 by 14 by 12 and a half. Still very useful when it is working. Pay no attention to the man behind me. All right, welcome to our laser cutting lab. As you can see, we have 3 laser cutters, all in variant sizes and functionality right now. We have one, the big one, does a lot of our work for now. It's working at 100%. The one behind us, the medium-sized one, is closer and closer to getting in working condition. It's being fixed on volunteer time with other members of the Forge. And the small one is the last one to get fixed up and touched. So we'll come to that when it gets to that time, when our members get to the time to do that. So that is our laser cutter area. You can do acrylic, wood. You can etch on glass, so you can make your own custom glass piece for maybe Mother's Day or something like this.
Ooh, when?
So that's very neat. There's a class that you can take for the laser engraver and then also etching on glass, which is a lot of fun that I've yet to do myself. But I've seen people do it, and it looks cool. All right, let's move on to our next area. This is our computer area, where we have computers loaded up with 3D modeling software, as well as Adobe package of Illustrator and Photoshop.
So guests can play on the computer?
Yeah, they can create on the computers as much as they want, as far as creating logos or anything in Illustrator or Photoshop, as well as rendering something in 3D. Fusion 360 is a software. We have Fusion 3 printers and Fusion 3D printing or 3D rendering software.
Why do you have so many glue sticks?
And where? In the 3D printing area? Because we put we put glue down on the beds before we start printing something on them. It's to help them stick and to help them release afterwards when the model is finished. All right, well, just a small backup. We find ourselves in the textile area where we have a computer-controlled embroidering machine. This is very useful. I have not got to play with it yet, but it will be in my wheelhouse soon. And of course, we have some sergers and some other other textile stuff along this wall, as well as a screen printer that we're getting together. One of our members is heading that up and getting that to be working and available for the rest of the members.
What's embroidery?
Embroidering is... I don't have anything embroidered right now. If you've ever seen a little shirt with a logo kind of stitched into it, that's embroidering. And mostly they're done by machines nowadays.
So it does it by itself with
Yes,
the
it
computer?
does. You load up an image you need on the computer and choose the colors that you need and then fire it off.
What's the surgery?
It just makes really professional seams. Like the seams that you have in your clothes right here. That's that kind of seam instead of something that's very simple, like a little hem like that. So here we are in the pottery room. This is a newer addition to the forge. A lot of stuff was donated. A couple of throwing wheels. This is where potters make bowls and vases and plates and whatnot. And over here is where things are drying and ready for the kiln. And we have 2 kilns that were also donated here to the forge. And we've had 1 firing and 1 glazing so far. It's about as far as we've gotten in the pottery area, but we're getting there.
So is the kiln more powerful than the oven?
Yes, a lot hotter than a normal oven. I'm not a pottery expert, but I'm pretty sure it gets up into like a 1500 degrees. Probably measured in the Kelvin range. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Does it cost money to do this?
To work in the pottery area, as long as you bring you have a monthly membership that you pay for the forge, but then you bring in all your materials. So yes, you will spend money on your materials to make what you want to make here in the room.
So if we were to come in here right now, we'll be able to make it even though we don't have nothing to use it.
You will have to take an orientation class to learn how to use the machine so you don't hurt yourself, for one thing. And then 2, you probably want some pointers from someone who knows a lot more about pottery, and they will be able to teach you. And a lot of forge members end up teaching other forge members new techniques and tasks.
So you had to bring your own clay?
Yes, that is correct. We have all the material. We have all the machines here at the forge, but you have to bring your own material. For the 3D printers, you have to buy your own filament. For the pottery room, you have to buy your own clay. And that has to do with the textiles as well. Right, before we go into the hard space is where all the big machines are that you can hurt yourself. First, we got to address some safety issues. We have ears, masks, and safety glasses, not sunglasses, but safety glasses. So come on, let's grab yourself a pair and we'll head in.
You need earplugs as well.
Nobody's running any big machines right now. Welcome to the metal shop, guys. Should we take a look at what we've got?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Over here we have a stomp shear. It's a way to cut metal. And straight. We have a brake where we bend metal. This is a kind of, have you ever seen a hole punch for paper? That's one for metal. So that's pretty fun. I've used that a couple of times. All right. I think that's brass. Copper. That is copper.
Copper.
You know, it burns green. And
Yeah,
over
Mecha
here
Man.
we have grinders and buffers. Over here we have 2 mills. And behind these mills we have lathes. Here's our large lathe. Much like the laser cutters, we have Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. This is the big one. This is something you could definitely hurt yourself on. It takes some training. I've done a very few things on it with guidance from another member. So this is the big boy. He has done a lot of cool stuff. I've seen a lot of cool things turned on this machine, and some have gone to parts that aren't made for cars or motorcycles anymore. Something like this can crank that out for them. And over here is the mama bear as far as the lathe goes. As far as the lathe goes, here's the mama bear. And on here is the desktop, which is the little guy. So it's essentially the same machine in different sizes.
I have a question.
Sure.
On that one, what's all the different colors for and numbers?
Different colors and numbers? Well, this is how fast the chalk's going to move. But yet again, I don't know much about this machine yet. I've been 3D printing a lot, so I apologize for not having enough information about that. Vertical bandsaw slowly cuts metal as it slowly lowers itself. With a hydraulic arm, with a hydraulic foot, it'll slowly cut the metal as it comes down.
So are those like,
That doesn't look like metal.
are those metal shaving?
Yes, sir. Those are metal shavings. They look like aluminum. I've used this a lot, cutting things like metal pipe that needs to be cut down. I've a little bit of angle iron, some wood that we've done for one project. It's all cut on this machine, and it's pretty nice actually. Here we have another tour going on by another member. How you doing? All right, right here we have our welding area where you can do welding, plasma cutting, and other metal work as far as well, I have an abrasive blade like a miter saw, so you can just kind of cut metal real quickly. Similar to that, but with a disc instead. Oh, this machine, or this screen? This is to hide your eyes, or if you're behind this area welding, you want to put this up to protect the other people's eyes in the building. So if you're welding back here, and you're gonna use a welding mask if you're welding. And watching a weld go down is like watching or looking at the sun. You're not supposed to do it. So these are welding masks, and not only protect your face from sparks flying, but they protect your eyes from the very, very bright light that welding creates. So this is very relative to this for other people in the room while you're working, while you're welding. This helps out people's eyes. And yes, you want to wear heavy leather stuff so it doesn't burn, so any slag doesn't come off and burn you. So it's very important. There's big safety things here.
Looks like it hasn't been used for a while.
Well, I must have grabbed the eldest one here.
So do these make your voice sound like Darth Vader like in the TV shows?
No, that's you have to be James Earl Jones for that to happen. Welcome to the wood shop. Here we had a lot of donations came into this spot, mainly by Volvo, and I forget who else donated the money for our dust collection system, which is one of the more pricier pieces of equipment we have in the whole makerspace. If there's too much dust in your wood shop, it becomes a fire hazard. So that's a good thing. That's another good bit of safety equipment that we have here at the forge. Now, if you want to look over here, we have a 16-inch joiner, an 18-inch planer, and further back against the corner, we have 2 band saws. And then across the back wall, we have a panel saw, a small CNC machine, a open source DIY CNC machine router that one of our members is putting together. And in the middle here, we have 2 table saws, and then the router table right there on the corner of it. And up against this wall here, we have the miter saw, the radial arm saw, drill press, and another router table. And behind us, yes, we also have a small compressor for all of our air tools, like nail guns and such like this. But this is made by one of our members here, and if you recognize it from the from out in the lobby, he left us one of his prototypes, and it's sound equipment, I guess furniture is what he's creating. High-end help, a sound engineer and an acoustic tech is helping him build this. So it's really super sweet that we have members creating such nice choice equipment. He's getting along to where he will be having these made in production. So yet another entrepreneur out of the forge.
So it's furniture with speakers in them.
Yes. This is where speakers will be. And how do you like the forge so far?
I think it's awesome. It's like better than any of the field trips I've ever been to. Except for, Trinity, which was a beach.
I think it's okay. I wouldn't bother working here because I don't want to get cuts.
Here we are back at the maker table, and right now we're having Mendant Night, where a person who knows more about textiles than textiles than I do is teaching some simple skills that I should learn at some point. What are y'all doing tonight?
So we are learning basic sewing skills to support a DIY lifestyle. So we have a project that we're working on right now. We're making a cape. But we do all kinds of, like learning basic mending things, or like if you have a really cool shirt, but you don't like, like maybe a pocket or like a thing like you like to learn how to take it off and then be able to save the garment and reuse the garment, or like, if you have a pair of jeans and you get a hole in it, you can fix the hole. So the idea is just teaching people how to make do for themselves and then giving people a space for doing it themselves. So the idea is all to do it yourself, fix it yourself, and you don't have to pay anybody to do it, and we can all get a chance to do it together and be in a community.
Brilliant. Great. Well, thank you for coming to the Forge. We appreciate it, and if you ever would like to come back and learn to make stuff, please do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for letting us be here.
No worries. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us from the Rocky and Derrick Show. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, and comment. If you want to become a sponsor, go on our website, rockyandderrickshow.com. Goodbye.